With 2 top 10 picks in this year's draft, the Spurs are poised to add even more promising talent around Victor Wembanyama. So, in this video, we'll dive into why the Spurs could be making a terrible mistake by not drafting Zack Edey. Zack Edey has captured global attention, becoming a sensation in men's college basketball. Averaging 25 points and 12 rebounds as a college center, Edey demonstrated his dominance at 7'4" with a 7-foot 10-inch wingspan, making him an unmatched force on the court. However, the pressing question remains, will his style of play be effective in the NBA, especially with the San Antonio Spurs? We've recently seen players like Luka Garza, who dominated college basketball with averages of 24 points and 11 rebounds, yet now oscillate between the NBA and the G League. This trend raises concerns for players like Zack Edey, whose college success was largely due to his extraordinary physical advantages. In the NBA, however, every player possesses remarkable physical gifts, making the competition far more intense. In today's game, extreme height can be a double-edged sword. While it provides certain benefits, it also introduces significant physical limitations. Extremely tall players often face challenges with agility, mobility, and coordination due to their long limbs. Their size and weight can also place immense strain on their joints and musculoskeletal system, increasing the risk of injury and affecting their durability. A pertinent example is Zion Williamson, who dominated much of the play-in game against the Lakers, but then suffered a hamstring injury that sidelined him for the remainder of the game, resulting in a loss. Zion's injuries are often to his lower body, highlighting the physical toll of running up and down the court, especially for players carrying significant weight. Zack Edey, at 300 pounds, may face similar challenges. While no one wishes injury upon him, it's important to recognize the facts. The evolution of playing styles and strategic approaches in the NBA has also created challenges for extremely tall players. In an era dominated by pace and space offenses, small ball lineups, and positionless basketball, traditional big men are increasingly marginalized in favor of more versatile and dynamic players who can excel in various roles. This shift has forced extremely tall players to either adapt or risk becoming obsolete in today's fast-paced and fluid style of play. Despite their towering height, these players often find themselves at a disadvantage against smaller, more agile opponents. Smaller players can exploit their speed, quickness, and ball handling skills to attack the basket, draw fouls, and create scoring opportunities, effectively neutralizing the size advantage of their taller counterparts. Additionally, smaller players can use their low center of gravity to establish position in the post, making it difficult for extremely tall players to defend without fouling. On the defensive end, while height can offer certain advantages, extremely tall players often struggle to defend smaller, more mobile opponents in space. Their lack of lateral quickness and agility makes it challenging to stay in front of ball handlers, contest shots, and navigate through screens effectively. Furthermore, their size and reach can inadvertently lead to contact and fouls, making them susceptible to foul trouble. In today's NBA, weak links in defense are consistently targeted by some of the best scorers in the world, so players must be able to guard multiple positions or risk being unplayable. However, there is hope. I have seen possessions where Zack Edey looked solid defending on the perimeter, suggesting that with further development, he could adapt to these modern demands. His potential to guard smaller players and his willingness to improve his lateral quickness and agility could help him find a place in today's NBA. Edey isn't just big, he's also highly skilled. He has excellent post moves, is a strong defender and rebounder due to his height, and is a solid passer who can see over everyone. He's dominant in one of the best conferences in the country. But the main criticism is his lack of outside shooting. But he still has potential to be a fine bench or role player in the NBA. His size is certainly enticing. Unlike Taco Fall or Bol Bol, who were very tall and somewhat skilled but skinny, Edey is both skilled and solidly built. This combination should help him handle the physicality of the NBA post play. All of these factors work in his favor. If the Spurs draft Edey, they'll pair him with Victor Wembanyama, potentially the best young talent in the NBA. Wembanyama is truly amazing. He possesses supreme skills. He can dribble like a point guard, shoot like a shooting guard, defend all positions, run an offense, have an offense run through him, rebound, and be a defensive menace. He can essentially do it all and has lived up to the hype already. Despite the Spurs' current struggles, Wembanyama is a player worth watching, consistently performing spectacular feats. However, while Wembanyama is also 7'4" and highly versatile, he's only 18 and still quite skinny. Edey could take on the bigger, more physical opponents in the league, allowing Wembanyama to roam more freely on defense. Edey's role could focus on defense and rebounding, which would enable Wembanyama to continue developing his all-around game. He could serve as his backup, or the Spurs might opt to start both of them together in the low post. This configuration would pose a daunting challenge for opponents trying to score over their towering presence. Additionally, adding a player like Jeremy Sohan, who's already a proficient defender and stands at 6'8", would further bolster the Spurs' defensive prowess. And while the Spurs could opt for a guard in this draft, they already have Trey Jones, who has proven himself as a capable pick-and-roll player. They could afford to let Zach Collins or Charles Bassey depart and feel confident with Edey stepping into one of their roles. Furthermore, players like Malachi Branham, Devin Vassell, and Keldon Johnson excel at pressuring guards on the perimeter, knowing they have two 7'4" giants ready to protect the rim behind them. The idea of pairing these two players together is something I am genuinely excited about. If Edey manages to live up to even a fraction of his potential, the Spurs could become a defensive juggernaut in just a year or two. San Antonio, this is your chance. If Zack Edey is still available at a reasonable spot in the upcoming draft, do not hesitate to snatch him up. As the team strives to build around Wemby, prioritizing defense is paramount to safeguarding their young star. This dynamic duo would provide formidable protection on the defensive end, and I'm eagerly rooting for it to materialize. Imagining these two giants dominating the court simultaneously fills me with anticipation as a fan. So, San Antonio, seize the opportunity and make it happen. But, of course, as always, what do you think? Are the Spurs making a mistake by not signing Edey? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to NBA Swish for more basketball content just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.